So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How do we address you? Do we call you sir?
Anish. Anish is
Very
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Welcome, Anish.
Thank you. Thank you.
And initially, I was a little intimidated when I heard that you're coming because the personality that you have is a little intimidating.
I've been told, yeah.
Yeah. Because then we went through your filmography also, which, Shravan, can you please pull out?
Yeah.
We noticed a pattern
Oh,
in the roles that
Let's
you
dive in directly.
It is, you are always...
I wonder what that might be. I'm intrigued, yeah.
You are always the person, like Santhosh put it very beautifully, you are the person that everybody reports to. You are the boss man,
Yeah.
you know. Wikipedia filmography.
Wikipedia filmography.
So we were just going through. See,
Businessman.
college principals,
College. DRDO scientist.
right? Then psychiatrist,
Psychiatrist.
I'm good.
yeah.
Then comes
Yeah,
police
good
officer,
reference.
obviously.
Police officer. Then
project manager.
Project manager.
Project
You
manager.
seem like a project manager.
Hey,
man.
life is a project. We're managing constantly. Yeah.
Bank auditor. Were you disappointed that they gave you a bank auditor role?
That was good. It was an interesting role, actually. I remember.
Oh, Gali Sampath, okay.
Yeah.
Then again, Zarina's manager. Taj Hotel manager Rodriguez.
Yes.
I can totally imagine. Yeah.
That's a real life character?
It's actually based on a real life character. Although the stuff that happens to him didn't happen to the original Rodriguez. I think Sesh is a great guy, and Shashi will tell you stories about this character. Yeah.
Police DGP.
Hey, even that, Sitaramam, Nizam's advisor. Like, advisor to the Nizam.
Nizam. Yeah. And Navy
Navy
officer. And then finally, just go down a little bit. Finally, you topped every. See, in Hindi also there is a R.
BCCI committee member.
BCCI committee member. Right? You determined the life of MS Dhoni.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Then again, psychiatrist, Delhi police officer, you can see, rising. Then police commissioner, Indian Prime Minister.
Indian Prime Minister.
That's it. There's nothing else left.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So there is that. But then I was doing some research and I would like to start over there.
Okay.
So I Googled. Have you Googled Anish Kuruvilla young?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Handsome man. Like all the girls in Old City must have been going nuts. Look at that. Look at that first image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, when was that taken? That was like a model photo shoot.
Yeah.
That was a little portfolio thing that I was trying to get done. This is 97. I was exactly 20 years old. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's the year I started working in the industry also, actually.
Okay. And how did that come to, like, how did that come by?
It came through this photograph, actually. Okay. I got picked as an actor in Lucky Ali's music video.
What?
Yeah.
We
Called
have
Biryani.
that?
You should see that. That's so much fun.
let's go.
Because I'm an extra in that. I'm an extra.
let's
I'm
check,
like
let's
play one of his friends.
Okay.
So I'm in the background running.
What's the name of the song?
Anjani Raho Mein.
Anjane
Yeah.
Raho
Yeah.
Mein
So I used to work as an AD with that director Manishankar. He's the guy who gave me my first break as an AD.
Okay.
I used to work for him. We made all these. I also worked as an AD on these projects.
Oh. Dude, that's one of my favorite
Yeah, it's a great
Lucky Ali
song.
song.
Yeah, all-time great song. Lucky Ali's cipher and his basic. You want to just drag to the part where you might see me?
Yeah.
Because that's a game I play
Where?
sometimes. All the way
Cipher was a
forward.
great album.
Yeah. There, you go back a bit. Just play. So you see a bunch of guys. Now just go back a bit. You'll see a bunch of guys running to greet him. Okay. This is on top of Kailashgiri Hill.
Those, the guys,
Yeah, that's me in the middle.
middle.
Yeah.
What is Lucky Ali like on the?
He was great. He was the first creative artist. I was sitting across as an AD and having a deep chat with him. He was on top of Kailashgiri Hill. And the life he had led up to that point, I remember he was 40. And I told myself at 40, I want to have his kind of a sort of experience of life because this guy's been through so many things.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring. So it was wonderful working. This obviously means a lot, this particular project. Celebrating 50 years of Indian independence, we made this album called Meri Jaan Hindustan that covered artists from all across. Dr. L. Subramaniam, Lucky Ali, Vishal Bharadwaj, Remo Fernandez. All these guys had come together to make this album. I was an AD working on all those music videos.
Okay.
So sometimes it was as an extra or a friend. I think at some point I come running and hug him. I'm assuming you'll like edit all of this. We are okay with time, right?
Yeah. Is that?
There. So there in the that's me
go
running, trying to put. I'm catching the bag. I can't believe we are geeking out.
Oh.
That's me running, grabbing the bag. I'm the one who hugged him first and kicked him.
Oh.
That's me trying to put my shoe on. I've been trying to put my shoe on now since then, actually. So, yeah. I think that's about it. I think I come somewhere in the end when we were all dancing. That's me running in the back, still trying to wear my shoe. And I finally say, hey, what's happening? What did I miss? I put in a lot of acting then also, even though I was in the background. Here I scraped my arm against that hut.
Yeah.
That's me dancing on top of... this is just funny. It was fun though.
Hey, you're going back.
It's Rizwan on top, the production manager, trying to scare away. This is an Ikrisat.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this was Vizag Port or was it Hong Kong? We shot. I didn't get to that, but this is on top of Kailashgiri Hill in Vizag.
Yeah. What a guy, man, Lucky Ali.
It was great. And so for 2 years after that, I was shooting all kinds of stuff, from music videos to shooting industrial coal plants and highways. And so I would go to remote parts of the country, like Haldia in Bengal, or Paradeep in Orissa, or Jorhat in Assam, shooting all and you're in the middle of what are like factory townships. Correct. It's so noir. It's very surreal almost, you know, and to just see these giant pieces of machinery at work. And Cipher had just come out, Lucky Ali's Cipher.
Oh, so you were listening to
and that was the soundtrack to my
6-month
all across India, just listening to that tape, Gisawa, you know, like...
Cipher had some crazy songs, man.
Oh, everything was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
People who worked on it, the musicians.
This was another album of
Lucky Ali.
Yeah, right after Suno.
Oh.
And after Cipher was Ux.
Yeah.
Which also had some great.
Yeah. And like what I like about Lucky Ali is like there was certain simplicity.
Yeah.
And like his lyrics, they are like, they will sound normal, but there'll be something he's trying to say. Yeah. You know, there'll always be like, ye chidiya, ye panchi. And like, it's a very simple sort of a philosophy that I don't know, I was younger, so I probably could connect to it. More than Javed Akhtar, Gulzar or whatever. So yeah, luckily. Fuck, I never thought that would happen.
So that was a deep connect, you know, and it kind of, as a young AD, you're like now looking at life with that kind of span. This is the experience. This is the... Because I had taken, like anyone else, I had taken this deep dive into, like, I was studying political science and economics in Nizams. Some aspiration of being some...
Civil servant?
So 12th fail, man. I'm going to have to talk about that. Nothing has moved me more.
Actually,
what a movie to end
this
with.
January, that was one...
And I'm glad Filmfare has given it some really important awards. All I don't... It's like,
correct.
Wow, man. What...
Beautiful movie.
And you know why it meant so much? Are we just jumping all over the place?
Yeah.
See, as a first year student doing political science, you are struck by this journey that a civil servant has to have. And one of those big myths was all about the interview session. That's a black hole. Like, you know the prelims, you know the mains, but what goes on in an interview is just built-in myth.
Yeah, they
correct,
say they'll ask you these tricky questions.
You can be asked any kind of questions, and then there are going to be these things that define, I guess, the kind of officer that they're looking for. And what a beautiful job that film shows of.
Oh man, beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That
And
very
It
core.
comes there.
And the sound design also, right? Like when he's going in, you can hear his shoes.
Shoes,
It's
they're
tight,
like
like
tight,
kichak sound is coming.
And he's not comfortable in those.
Not comfortable. He goes outside. He reads the letter from her. He takes it off. Then he wears it like a slip on.
Yeah.
And that time they show the shoe again, and there is no sound. But yeah, what a beautiful movie, man! It just kind of shook me, which made me think of something which I told Santhosh also, because it was a Vidhu Vinod Chopra direction, but it had all those Rajkumar Hirani elements.
The emotions,
The friend narrating the story, and catchphrases like restart.
Yeah.
You know, his Rajkumar Hirani movies always had a phrase like Jadoo Ki Jhappi or Gandhigiri. So this also had that. So you don't know who. I mean,
No, I think they're great collaborators.
Yeah.
Because I see when Hirani's worked with Vidhu Vinod Chopra, I mean, there's been such strong soul. Like there's been such strong storytelling at its core. I have a feeling, because I'm a huge fanboy of Vidhu. I mean, Parinda. Parinda was
beautiful.
It was like it was a language that was being kind of shown for the first time. You never thought you could see your heroes. And I was a huge Jackie Shroff and Anil Kapoor ka Jodi wale films. Kala Patthar, of course, Ram Lakhan. But there were a bunch of movies that they did in the 90s.
Yeah.
And me being in Nizam College meant that after the first year of Focus, there was like Santhosh 70mm, 35mm. Ramakrishna 35, 70.
Venkatramana.
Surya 35, 70mm. And for some pleasures, guilty pleasures, Lighthouse for that, A-rated film that's playing. And that's literally like the size of this room. So I'm bombarded by these smells of theaters and these canteens and these movies that I'm literally, I stopped going to college and was like morning show, matinee, evening show, walk back home. My parents had no clue what I was doing for 2 years. So when it came to a time I started working without telling them.
Like what kind of work?
As an AD.
Oh, okay.
I just started ADing in 97.
Okay.
Final year of college. They didn't know that, they just thought maybe I'm still focused on civil service. I don't know. I had to break the news to them one day. I literally broke the news. I don't know. It was all building up. So it was like this typical morning scenario. Got to tell these guys what I've been up to for like 6 months, because now they're beginning to doubt. Like college is done. Like what are you up to? So I've been working in the film industry.
So you wrote the civils exam?
No, I never wrote it. See, 1 year into college, I was so disappointed because one looks forward. I just didn't find myself there. It was not what I wanted to do. I just didn't want to study anymore.
Okay.
And I began thinking to myself, what is it that I really enjoyed doing? And I got picked playing the fat lady in 4th class by my English teacher in school. And I was doing plays in Ravindra Bharati every year.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. After that, acting in the background, And by the time I was in high school, I was writing my own plays. We had our own impromptu sort of one-act little plays that would happen after lunch. And graduated playing some better parts, but it's something that I loved. The back room, the lights, the smell of makeup, and this walking to a stage where the audiences is kind of there. You're looking for your parents, but you can't see anyone. It's all in the dark. Something magical about all of that. So second year into college, it was deep dive into cinema. Like I was at every news magazine stand. I was picking up the screen tabloid, which would come out every Thursday, I think. I'd go grab for it. I'd be out every Sunday. I'd especially ask the news vendor to keep aside the Times of India Bombay edition, because Khalid Muhammad's review would come. And that meant a lot at that time to read what he had to say.
Yeah, he was kind of.
He was an influence, very sort of. I mean, everything to do with Bombay and cinema was also covered in that. So
Who is he?
Khalid Mohammed.
He's a
he directed Fiza.
He directed,
Fiza.
Zubeda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's based on his own life.
Yeah, Zubeda is the story of his mother or something like that.
Oh.
So he was I'm told, I have not read his reviews at that time, but I'm told that he was the
Yeah.
film critic
Oh. And then who also ended up making
who became
movies.
a filmmaker, which is my favorite kind of film critic. Who
Nice.
makes a movie. So, yeah.
So that was the life like from HPS that you were studying in Ramantapur.
Yeah, Ramthur.
Like how was like Hyderabad that point of time? ఎందుకంటే నాకు హైదరాబాద్ మీద there was this nice culture of movies where Telugu films అన్ని ఆర్టీసీ ఎక్స్ రోడ్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. English films are at Skyline and Sterling and
Sangeet was the Mecca. It was the oasis. It was the Archie's Riverdale. It was Pop Tates. It was Fantasy Restaurant. It was popcorn. Sold to you in plastic packets. It was walking in matinee show, morning show, a Jackie Chan movie, My Lucky Stars.
And then there was this Hindi bunch of theaters like
Santhosh,
Ramakrishna, Venkatramana, Padmavati and also. It was
Each
a nice
with
mix of
culture
all three
unique to their own.
industries. English, Hindi and Telugu had like a nice group of theaters.
And these A theaters, would they be like far away from?
No, they'll be like all close to like Abbott's have like one group of theaters.
Yeah.
Santhosh opposite to it, Ramakrishna. The artistic crossroads have one.
No, I'm
group.
saying all the like your Tivolis and the Lamba 70mm and all of that. They were also in the main city, or they were like slightly hidden?
They also
They were in the heart of Secunderabad, no?
Secunderabad.
So alongside, so in Secunderabad, principally, Sangeet was the Mecca. It was the place, and everyone who's grown up with Sangeet knows that it was. It's where families would go to watch. They would play Hindi films too back in the day, but by the time I was growing up, it was mostly films from America, Hollywood films. And it was a place where you would discover cinema. It would be the place where you'd go there with your favorite uncle or your aunt. It was almost like a pilgrimage. It's something that you do. It's part of the culture, which I really miss. It's something to really sort of. I hope in some form or the other it happens. Again, I mean, Secunderabad needs that revival. We all need that revival of strong, big, theaters that culture and people kind of move around, like neighborhoods and stuff like that. We need more of it. We need more cinema theaters, actually. Anyway, that's all a separate point of view.
but ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం మల్టీప్లెక్స్ వచ్చేసినాక అది that thing can come back.
I don't know. There's something quaint about a single hall theater. There's something about the fact that I can curate that experience for you every day, like a movie almost. Like morning show so you would not have regular shows. So you can curate. So morning would be a completely different film, maybe a Hindi film, a Telugu film. Matinee could be something else. But the evening and second show would be the regular featured film.
Okay.
Like a double bill of, whatever, the same film. So
That was in Secunderabad, Sangeet, Tivoli and Lamba.
yeah.
But
Anand.
Yeah.
Where I saw Lagaan, my God, there was
in the
something
theater,
else.
that's one regret of mine in my life. I didn't see Lagaan in theater. I watched
It was
it.
mad, yaar.
I can imagine.
I was sitting in the front seats. People were out like, yeah, maro, wo, maro, yeah. Really got people going. I still remember looking at the poster. Because by that time, I went on the opening day. And by that time, there was already a bit of a buzz. That cricket ke baare mein kuch hai kate. And I remember looking at the poster, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Yeah, dude, I think there is some cricket in this. This is going to be great. Yeah, how we discover films. I remember reading Manoj Knight Shyamalan on the poster, Sixth Sense in Sangeet. Like Manoj Shyamalan.
Night.
No, it was only M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
No, I think if you look back at the credits, I think at that time it was called Manoj Knight Shyamalan. Shyamalan. Manoj N. Shyamalan. I think so.
Yeah.
That's what got me intrigued. Like, he sounds like an Indian.
But then you found out his name, it's like Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
But that was
What
a
an
crazy
interesting filmography.
Yeah.
That guy's,
Sixth Sense, no? Yeah. I watched it, of course, much later on DVD, but I was still blown. Okay, wow.
Read the script and watch the film. That's an exercise that I tell everyone who wants to learn how to write. Just take that script, take that movie, take out the Sixth Sense ka script, read it and just keep watching it. Or, that really can kind of...
Like, is it
the stuff that he's written is like the intensity of a bulb that's shimmering is also described in a script.
Oh.
He paints images. He's a wonderful writer.
I like his other. Have you watched this movie Unbreakable?
Oh yeah, great superhero film.
Yeah, one of the best superhero movies.
Yeah.
But shot like a thrill. Not,
Like a
not
very
even
moody
thriller.
drama, almost like a.
Yeah.
It's like a pathos piece almost. Like
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
tragic.
Yeah.
in
Like
its
some
arc and,
like weird European movie, it seems like.
awesome.
But yeah, Manoj Night Shyamalan. I feel like, that was the last few movies where the twist really worked for me. Right? Like 6 and 7.
Which was that film with Mel Gibson?
What happened? Like
Oh.
Those the aliens, the aliens literally take over. Science.
Science. That was also his one, second one.
Science has a great line where the guy has, I think.
I haven't watched actually. What is the
Oh,
twist? Like,
I can't spoil the twist to you, but the twist comes in the form of a dialogue.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't spoil it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to spoil
I'll
it for
keep that
anybody.
in mind.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what was dating like at that time in
Hyderabad.
90s Hyderabad? What would all the
You were born and brought up in Hyderabad, no?
Yeah, I'm a. There used to be a group on Orkut called Fraud Malus. So Malus who are just. I'm a guy. I'm a Malayali guy who grew up in Hyderabad. My roots are all here. My grandfather moved to Hyderabad in the 50s. My dad's from Kerala. So But I've had such a influential cultural upbringing with my friends, courtesy my friends, my neighborhood, and school, which is just great. It's like I've never really had my own identity. Like in terms of, do I feel like I'm a Malayali? I am a Malayali, but if you go to Kerala, you're not Malayali enough because I don't speak the language very
You're more
fluently, although-
Hyderabadi.
I'm a Hyderabadi Mallu, but I think one of life's pursuit is to how do I define that? Like, what do I want to call myself, kind of a thing. I think that search is eternal. Is good. It's like this is what it is.
Yeah, no, I can relate. I'm like half Odia, half Telugu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which
So
part of Orissa?
Orissa, other side is from Baleswar. It's close to West Bengal. But I grew up in Bhubaneswar. And my mother's side is from Vizag and stuff like that. So I'm an outsider anywhere I go.
Okay, there you go.
Right, because-
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, like you're always an alien in a way.
Always a bit of an alien.
Yeah. So, but born and brought up in Hyderabad.
Yeah. Born actually in a small town called Vellore.
Okay.
It's in Tamil
The
Nadu.
VIT.
Tamil Nadu, huh?
Where Vellore
The
VIT.
VIT Vellore.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the CMC Vellore.
Okay, okay.
The Christian Medical College there is like a big.
Yeah. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Now I guess it's VIT Vellore also.
Okay.
Yeah,
So being the Mallu guy in Hyderabad, generally like you will get like little more attention than the regular Telugu guys. ఉంటుంది కదా
Attention.
డేటింగ్ లైఫ్ లో
I was the last kid to be picked in a football team here. Become like, dude, I'm around. Hello, hey. Because one of the things of being kind of built the way I am is that you just generally have an empathy for people, for life. Because I was never bullied in school. It was not like that. It was just friendly teasing like any portly kid would have. But from letting it sting you, you kind of turn it around into a comic kind of a reaction, which makes you an incredible friend to everybody. So I have like these deep connections that we don't keep in touch, but good friends, kind of over the years. So yeah, I think that's an aspect to my own kind of continuous search for the identity. And I start to reason, and I think it's not that important. What's important is that with everything that you do, it's especially with the things that I make, where I'm physically responsible for, like directing for example, it's very, I'm putting my life there at stake in terms of this has to be defining enough. So I pick my directing projects like that, but with acting, for me, it's just the fun of being going. I mean, I'm a huge. One of the good benefits of being a director and an actor is sometimes I'm on sets of directors that I really like. Like, this is fun. This is great to see. I was working with Vikram on Duta. Just such a passionate and such a... he keeps a great energy on the set. You're having a good time. You're coming together. He gets all the actors together. And I love that vibe and that sort of... The thing about a film set, the fact that I can... That aspect of acting is terrific because I literally can be in the shoes of
Yeah.
Like you were saying, being a cabinet
Navy
minister
officer,
or
you
a
get
raw
command.
guy or a businessman or whatever it is. But
No, also, sorry for interrupting, but I like the roles you pick also. It's like you are the Samuel Jackson of Tollywood, man. You are in big budget
that's
movies,
huge.
small budget. Like, you know how Samuel Jackson he'll be in Avengers,
Yeah.
but he'll be on fucking snakes on a plane or something, you know? Yeah, like that.
Thanks, man. That sounds great. I'm lucky. That way I'm really sort of. I think I get I won't say I am the one with the 360-degree perspective of how movies are being made and what it's like. But I see that clear communication makes a huge difference to how a project sort of comes together, you know? Like having that sort of true sort of labored commitment to, you know, kind of, it's collaborative, man. I mean, for me, the best part about what I'm getting to is the best part of being a filmmaker is the collaborative nature of this job. Yeah, you are directing it, you're leading the team, but you're working with some amazing minds and you're kind of inspired by this idea of trying to tell a story. And that's what keeps me kind of really happy doing what I'm, you know, doing as a living. 25 years in now.
Yeah.
You know, 97 is when I started. So it's like...
Yeah. You started off with one interesting thing I wanted to ask. So, knowing knee background from Nizam College of Chadvi Vanni, how did the link to Sekhar Kammula happen?
Oh, Shekhar and I... So by that time I had worked with Mr. Manishankar, who's the guy who gave me... People know him now for Tango Charlie and Rudraksh, but back then he used to make music videos and corporate films and stuff like that. So started off with him, and that's where I learnt my love for the craft, the technician, because I was in the editing department. I used to lug the camera and take it. I would, you know, earn a bata for being a camera assistant. So the joy of doing a double call sheet and coming back with double the money, like $600 maybe that day, it was a huge achievement on top of the salary that you're getting as a staff member in the company. So I think I have a bit of a imposter syndrome. You know, there is
Welcome to the club.
there's a sense of like, you know, I don't know. But you know, I count my stars that I've been able to kind of keep a job, you know, for this long. So it's good.
No, but interestingly, you are part of two people who kind of changed the industry across time. Both of their first movies you feature in.
Yeah.
There is Sekhar Kammula, who I believe his Dollar Dreams kind of changed it in some way.
Yeah, and Anand also.
Yeah. His first movie. And then Tarun Bhaskar, his first movie also you're there.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'll be there in
And
the
that
next
too,
20 years.
exactly one generation apart.
Exactly.
Like 2004-5 ఇది అయితే 2016 లో పెళ్లి చూపులైంది
Yeah.
ఒక వన్
I think my everyone's roots. My roots are in independent cinema. I mean, that's literally like I went to the premiere show of Hyderabad Blues. By that time, there was already a buzz about somebody having made a film in Bombay. It's going to come to, and I went on the premiere show and I came out of the movie thinking, yeah, we should just make a movie. You know, like just. So that's, and I, you know, right after that I worked with Nagesh on Rockford. I was the guy in charge of the kids, basically getting them to, you know, picking them up from Sangeet Theatre, which was a bus stop, lugging them to the shoot. So my roots are in independence and so Shekhar, coming to your point about Shekhar, I just met him at a friend's place. I walked into him, he was there, my friend was also there, and we just started talking, and he had just come back, I think, from America, and he was...
Also, you didn't go to America to work. Like, I was in assumption that you and he were like friends maybe in the US and... Okay.
I was totally Hyderabad guy. There was a year that I worked in
But you worked after that a lot with Mr. Sekhar Kammula.
Yeah, that's kind of where it began. Like Dollar Dreams, I think Shekhar was coming fresh off his experience of having lived there in America, and he just wanted to tell the story. And because I had done an independent film, there was something to follow on, you know. And that film just happened so organically in his house, in his parents' house, in my home, just like, you know. And 25 years on, the film is still very, very relevant. You know, it's like there are people who've said, you know, they've been at those crossroads in their lives trying to make decisions to go to the US, and they kind of call back that film quite a bit. So
Every Telugu guy's dream, that is.
Yeah.
It's all a dream.
that's, yeah,
Of course, Sekhar Kammula also, I believe, is responsible for the engineering craze because of Happy Days.
right.
You know, all these engineering colleges should pay him some commission because a whole generation
Yeah.
grew up thinking engineering is cool and there will be a tamanna in our college. And yeah, but you escaped the engineering.
Like I said, it was like BA. I mean, I knew right out of 11th and 12th. My God, I thought I would also become a doctor or something like that. BPC ka to, my God, it was horrifying. I just couldn't get organic chemistry in my head. I still remember my chemistry teacher came into class and he said, "Today, one guy has scored a mark that nobody else has ever scored." People are like, "What is that mark?" I'll tell you. He starts handing out papers, 20 out of 30, 10 out of 15, 15 out of... And now, finally, this paper, I'm giving it half mark because this gentleman wrote his name correctly. Thank you, sir.
Oh. You got 1/4 more mark than what I got in chemistry. I got 3/4.
Oh, really?
I got 3/4 in one paper.
Dude, chemistry was a dull ass subject. I don't know.
No, organic chemistry was tough, dude. The minute some numbers came into the equation.
Oh, numbers are also there. Huh? I don't
No,
know.
in
I didn't study
organic
science.
chemistry, okay,
I
there
studied
you go.
commerce. So.
Oh, organic and C plus O2 is equal to CO2. That is, I don't know, like zero in chemistry.
Dude,
Don't
we
ask
studied
me,
2
dude.
years of MPC.
That
no?
was like state board syllabus. What we studied in 10th only, just like mug up and put.
Yeah. But you still haven't answered my question.
Yeah, what was your question?
About,
Oh my God, we're digressing. I'll stay to the point.
No, it's okay. We love the digressing discussions. But I'm curious about what was dating like.
Oh, what was dating? Oh my God, where did we go? I was trying to avoid that. It didn't work out. Unfortunately, I didn't really experience the dating life because I was smitten in love. I had this long distance relationship going on at that time.
Okay.
That was, and then there was the daily job and grind of being an AD.
Correct.
You're stretched.
Yeah, no time for love.
No time for love. So kind of, so I can't give you a bird's eye view of it, but I'm thinking it was pretty happening. It was, obviously there was no Tinder. People were meeting each other in bakeries or greeting card shops, and just like they show it in the movies, or in a mall. Shoppers Stop had just opened, and there was this great bowling alley called Alligator, which was,
Nice name.
Alligator, and they had a nice pool table, great sandwiches. I think people would go out and meet. I don't know.
Yeah.
People would meet each other in theaters. The girl in the line, the girl in the,
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, I have romantic notions of it. So maybe I'll make a movie out of that.
So the other thing, before we go into your journey as a director,
Okay, yeah.
I'm very curious about the assistant director part.
Oh yeah.
Because generally I feel like it's a thankless job, even in today's time with today's caravans and technology.
It
So
is.
back in the 90s, I can imagine being an AD literally must have been like a...
But I got lucky in the sense that I've worked with directors who were really passionate about what they were doing, and they would try and do their best to get the entire team together, whether it's Manishankar, Nagesh Kuknoor, or Shekhar, with whom I've had the longest I've worked with him for, I don't know, a decade and a half, I think. So each one of them, actually, I'm not trying to, the assistant director's job is tough. My first job as an assistant director was literally go and see paint dry in Padmalaya Studios. My boss had given me the brief, pura wo space shuttle aana chahiye, it should look like futuristic India, agriculture India, get the painters, supervise and get it done. Hello, I don't know how to do. What should I was just watching them paint. And I was standing there watching one guy just painting, spaceships and satellites, showing the future of India, some agriculture, laptop, something. There was back in '97, the ideas of India were being projected there.
Yeah. It was the 50th year.
It was 50th year, so the music videos that we were making were all commemorating.
Even
that.
I think Matujya Salam came out in that year as a...
I think it came 2 years later or a year later.
Okay.
Oh, that was a phenomenal album.
Oh man, that was insane. Sorry for...
Okay. So yeah, so
As an AD.
it's a tough job, but it's not that tough when you're working, when your boss is a cool guy, and the story that you're after is something that means a lot to the whole team. As tough as it gets, and it is tough. It wrecks your personal life. It wrecks your health also, because long hours, not much sleep. You're constantly worried about whether the actor's call time has been given, whether the prop guy knows the list for the next day. You're coordinating with the production unit, trying to say, you know what, we need the generator. We're back there. Too much noise. You're thinking for the director. You're thinking about everything that can kind of go wrong, and it's also creative. You have a lot of fun casting people, finding talent, all that kind of stuff. So it is, but it is a grind. I'm proud that I worked as an AD for. I don't like these chief AD, AO AD. I just like the term that AD is. ADing is what I did. So I did that for a good 10 years. Because back then, I hate saying back then. What the hell?
That's good, huh?
But you couldn't shoot a film on your phone. You're thinking in 400 feet of film.
Yeah.
You're thinking cans. You're thinking about, okay, how many cans of film will I need to make a film?
Yeah, and if you goof up, it actually means like reels
Cost
going
of
waste.
production.
Yeah. And that discipline, or that the respect, or the kind of what the sincerity that you bring to your job is knowing the value of that footage that is running there. So you want to get it right, and filmmaking is such Murphy's law. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and you're kind of troubleshooting that through the day and kind of still making it work.
Yeah.
So aiding is tough, challenging, probably very thankless. I actually want to stand up for them, because see, they do so much of the work, and they take so much of the blame also. A lot of the times, they should be better paid.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that an AD represents that ultimate struggle of what it takes to make it in this industry. So I think that pain and the joy are actually worth it. I would recommend to anybody to just work. I don't like this observation tag. Come work, lift something, move something, do something. Don't observe. No, that's how you learn films, and that's how I learned how to make films. Of course, I was deep diving into every major book, because that was our source before the internet boom. So, like, in terms of information, I was reading about film history, this, that, directors, but I remember $100 ke liye, the 100 luminaries of Indian cinema bolke, there was this one-time Magna publication, kuch edition, saved some money, bought that, and it takes you through time, like from the silent era, Falke Saab and Alam Ara, first talkie. So you're doing this deep dive into the history of cinema in India, and I think that's a great place for any AD or anybody who wants to start with the history first.
Yeah.
Start with that moving image,
Yeah.
and then be a fanboy, be a fan, be a filmmaker. I call myself, if I had a visiting card, I'd say filmmaker, because sometimes I want to put it in my car also. Because somebody's putting police, army. Okay, CA also is putting, doctor also is putting.
Yeah.
Filmmaker bolke dalne ka hai. Somebody make a cool stamp. And
Yeah. I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
No, but I hope when you and Mr. Sekhar Kammula meet next time and have a drink.
Yeah. He doesn't drink, but...
Okay. Then please pour yourselves 2 extra drinks from our side, minus Santhosh's.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys in a way changed the game. Right? For like making it possible to imagine that indie cinema can exist.
Yeah.
And like, so yeah, the imposter syndrome is not valid anymore in your case, I feel.
But I feel like I'm that imposter. I don't know what... But, one of the things as an AD is like, I don't know if I can walk into this Taj hotel. The idea of walking into a 5-star hotel. One of the first jobs I did was to pick up the actor from I remember picking up Bob Christo, that old-time villain.
Yeah.
From the airport.
White man.
The white man.
Yeah.
I had a good time talking. My job was to pick him up at the airport, get him into the car, check him into the hotel, make sure he's okay. Do you need anything? Okay, we'll need you at set by 6 o'clock. And I do a lot of that, you know. Where else do you get to know an actor? When you don't go to pick... I picked up Baba Sehgal from the airport. And I remember also being his bodyguard. Like, Hato. Because Baba Sehgal was the...
He was big,
Yeah,
man.
He was big.
Yeah.
So...
Thanda pani.
Yeah.
Roop Tera Mastana also.
Yeah. He sang a lot of songs in Telugu actually.
Telugu also.
Yeah.
So I remember this like incident where there was a song Thanda pani, which I really liked.
Oh, yeah.
And then the controversy rose that it's been
Yeah.
stolen.
Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby. But Baba Sehgal had the most epic reply. He said, Ice Ice Baby is copied from Under Pressure by Queen, which is led by Freddie Mercury, who is Indian. I'm Indian, so it's okay.
No, his tweets
That's
are very
brilliant, right?
interesting.
LHS is equal to RHS. Like it was, I was impressed by that.
No, his
No, he's
tweets
super
are also-
talented, man. He's super talented.
No, I like his tweets also, like chiki chiki ta, then something.
Yeah.
I saw one which went @Rihanna. I want to eat banana or something. Very basic as that. But not with the innuendo. It was just Rihanna banana was the highlight of that. Yeah. So before we go into your directorial journey, we should have given the disclaimer in the beginning,
Oh,
but we are giving it now.
okay.
As journalists and film reviewers, we tell our guests that if any question is dull, you have a right to say, fuck this question.
Oh,
Okay?
Pass.
okay.
This is too dull, too boring.
Okay.
I don't want to answer. So you're free to do that.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Because our whole thing is like,
Mm.
what are you feeling about
Okay.
the podcast? So if there is anything you want to talk about, please bring it up. It is a completely unstructured.
Oh, okay. That's
Format.
great. That's great. No, okay. Keep it coming. I mean, I'm happy to sort of...
Yeah, but I don't want it to be like, let's start your journey from the childhood and all.
There's nothing to it. I mean, I was just like just now vibing about being an AD. I can't insist how important that particular job profile is, because there's nothing else that gives you a ringside view of things from every single department. You really step into every little sphere of every kind of department of the film industry. So I'm filmmaking. Are we talking about directorial journeys? Okay,
your wish.
My wish. Huh?
No, then I'll just like plug in. So, AD ga chesinapudu you know the importance of this. So when you don the chair of a director, appudu that time what is your role? Like, because basic logistics are taken care, the continuity and all. So which is your like you'll come to your major idi kada forte, which is direction. Oh no, before that ido okati cheppanu. So actor, you're an actor also, and you first started off as a director.
Yeah.
What are you at heart? What is more of you at heart?
No, definitely a writer director who also acts. Is how I kind of look at myself. To call myself just as an actor would not do justice to the profession of like these great actors that we have. But I'm a filmmaker, and I have this romantic heart of mine which likes being an actor, who because it just gets me to do more things.
Yeah.
I can fill my life with these, going to the UK, working with Anupam Kher on The Accidental Prime Minister. Just that is just
One
watch him
experience.
act was an experience. Like just to. I like these. For me, every film has to feel like a bit of an adventure. I'm a sucker for. They might just say, "Film outdoor, huh? Okay, I'm coming. When do you need me?" So, I think that romantic aspect of that of storytelling, whether it's directing or acting, is what. So acting lets me have more of it. Directing is this. It's a labored process. You're on one project that takes your time.
Yeah.
And you're giving it all, and so acting lets you do more, have more experiences while things are coming together. So.
And I like that experience which you were saying of before we started off. where when he goes on the road or for jogging and all, the people like say, so you don't know after seeing
Yeah.
so much of you, they might be assuming, sir.
Yeah, it has to do with my roles. I don't mind it. I mean, I'm waiting to play even like a granddad or something. I'm hoping somebody can. I have. If the length of the role doesn't really matter as much as the opportunity to do something interesting in that sequence or some scene, or I kind of go with that kind of a mindset. So yeah, it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun. And I get a ringside view of some great directors putting projects together, which is great for me. Like I see great DOPs at work. I see some, so it's.
So are you planning to now again direct something, or is there anything on mind? Because now initially director ka now.
I feel like I'm rambling a lot. Is it okay?
Yeah, that is exactly what we want.
Fine.
No, then
I just hope so.
then you became an actor, so you got an inside view of how it works also with other people.
Yeah.
The synergy and all. So now again, are you looking to direct something?
I have.
Is there?
I think, the last thing I made was Gods of Dharmapuri. And then since then, there have been two projects that have really kind of consumed my time. One is an indie film that me and my friends made together, which,
Okay.
it's...
What is it about? Do you mind?
It's just like chicken soup for the soul, I would say.
Oh,
That's what the film is like. It's just a feel-good film. A small... so we're hoping to bring it out, at some point of time. And then there is this mad, amazingly cool sci-fi show that I got to work with Disney Hotstar on.
Oh.
Which hopefully, we are in post-production. So,
Oh.
You're directing it?
yeah.
Oh. It's a show.
It's a show. It's a show.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a little early maybe to speak about the show, but the movie is at a place where it's kind of ready to come out.
What is the name? Is it okay?
So maybe just a tad bit early for the name because we are still... So we made this film, it's multilingual.
Oh.
So it's a film that can be watched by anyone. But we also have like a regional version of the film.
Okay.
Where one character had to be kind of specially voiced. And that character was voiced by Vanilla Kishore, which is... He was just
He's
mad.
great, yeah.
And that character was written by Harshvardhan for Telugu. That particular character, we wanted those lines to kind of work in Telugu too. So he did a great job. So I can't wait to bring this film out. It's got a nice ensemble bunch of actors together.
Yeah.
So mottam ready unda? Like the piece is ready?
It's
post-production.
Kind of final stages, final mix and stuff. But we're looking for distribution, so please give us a call.
No, whenever it's out, please feel free to come back again. And
Yes, absolutely.
We can do a promotion.
Yeah, we are in the market right now, so
Oh, you're in the market. All
Also
right.
to everyone in the market.
Yes.
Please note it down.
Agents. So, what is the... Sorry for the dip in the intellectuality of the questions.
No. I love that. That's my space now. Please come there.
But what is the secret to great hair?
The secret to great hair is, just getting lucky with genetics. I think my grandpa also had like this mane of grey hair, and I've been grey since I was 20. Like Dollar Dreams, I literally went and got my hair colored.
Okay.
I was like 50% grey by that time,
Okay.
which girls thought were cool.
Yeah. Salt and pepper and all.
Yeah, but now it's all salt.
After 40, whatever white hair is going to, I'm going to own color till 40. After that, I'm also thinking to go like salt and pepper. Ajit and Anish Kuruvilla.
No other tips, really. Just got lucky with genetics.
Yeah. No, Mallu people generally have good hair, I feel. Don't you think so?
Yeah, but I barely use coconut oil.
I'm just going there. Is it because of the coconut oil or coconut?
Do you watch any
With
Malayalam
seafood.
cinema?
Of course. I mean, I grew up on Malayalam cinema because...
Oh, nice.
See, I grew up in what was the VHS era.
Okay.
The VHS era was the video cassette parlor era where... So it's 3 or 4 of us, all with individual taste. My mom is into Bollywood films. My dad is obviously into Malayalam cinema. My mom, because she grew up in Hyderabad, she's a Mallu, but she grew up in Hyderabad. Her influences were mostly Hindi films. And me growing up, for me, it was American films. Films from Hollywood, because that's... So we'd all go to our cassette shops, pick the cassettes that we want, that we'd watch over the weekend. So Malayalam cinema was what my dad was playing every Saturday. We'd sit all together as a family watching Mohanlal and Srinivasan go crazy. watching all these great classics, Priyadarshan. I mean, kind of that was those home video nights, you know. And Sundays would be my day where I'd do my in the afternoon when everyone was sleeping, watching some nonsense, Evil Dead or The Return of the Freed Green Tomatoes or some weird movies. I'd just pick them based on the title, what sounds good.
Yeah, because you can't see the trailer.
You can't see the trailer. You're not exposed. You don't know what's good and what's curated.
Yeah, so it's like a gamble.
Yeah, it's like a gamble.
So you have the collection of all those?
No, I don't have. It was rented most of them.
Rent, huh?
But I have collections of shows I used to record back in the day. Like Famous Five used to come on Sunday morning.
Okay.
And we'd plug in the VCR and kind of record World Cup highlights from 87 World Cup and stuff like that, which was, you know, fun to do.
Oh, you have finals of 96 World Cup, 87 World Cup recorded in your home?
Yeah.
Unnaya?
Yeah, because see, World Sport, again, you know, it's just one television channel, one sports channel, one sports program. So Worldwide of Sports, or I forget the name.
World of Sports.
I think it's Sports World or whatever.
Sports
They
World.
would. So PK Banerjee, who was once, I think he was a coach, Indian football coach, also a commentator, was doing a deep dive of all the league matches that were played. It was great material. I think some of those tapes have to be kind of seen. And recording stuff from television was, you know, something that would, your favorite shows, that was the only way you could kind of watch it. So yeah. So I kind of grew up on that video. I remember early discoveries of Telugu cinema for me happened because of the video guy going from home to home in his cycle with, you know, and Bobili Raja had just come out and everyone was to see Bobili Raja. And of course, Shiva, you know, these were films that I discovered on the VHS.
Okay.
Oh.
Because when VHS made first time CinemaScope, films began to look different. When CinemaScope became the format in which Telugu films were being made.
Okay.
Suddenly it was a wider image because there's that era transition that happened in the aspect
like
ratio.
a tech change.
Yeah, like a tech change. The way you're seeing the image, suddenly the image was a bigger image.
Okay.
And then cinema became a kind of a cooler form, you know. So Geetanjali, Shiva, Nirnayam, these are my Kshanakshanam.
These were all
These are-
CinemaScope.
These were, I would imagine by that time it would have to.
Because I've seen that word, like that, written like that, CinemaScope. I didn't know it was because it was a wider image. But now the logo makes sense. It's like that. Okay.
So that transition happened in filmmaking. You know?
Okay.
So from the older, more squarish kind of aspect ratio to
Okay.
suddenly wider
frames.
So that's when for me Telugu cinema started looking cooler. Till then there was not a real sort of connect. It was mostly Saturday night, home viewing again. You know, all the classics, Gundama Katha, Maya Bazaar. The Doordarshan would play it, right? That's where you would discover it.
Yeah.
But Chiranjeevi was discovered in school. Just that build up to gang leader, because it was sort of like I don't know if it was a mini comeback or it was coming after a while, but the buzz for gang
It was like
leader
the
was
second
so
high,
huge.
Ankunta. Like first high was like Kaidi,
Yeah,
and
I
the
think so.
second high was.
But the anticipation for gang leader was buzzing in school.
But how would the buzz be?
The buzz would be like
Posters?
people are bringing in those tabloids, those
magazines.
newspaper spreads with
Oh, that was
gang
the
leader,
medium.
the look, the poster, and you see it appear on walls and stuff. So there was and that's when I really sort of, I mean, discovered Chiranjeevi Garu again on tapes, VHS tapes, because, you know, got me into breakdance, going to YMCA, trying to learn breakdance. Those are, I mean, he was suddenly like such a different kind of a hero in Telugu films. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hit, Garana Magudu standing in line, got whipped, trying to watch it first day, first show. So, yeah, this.
So by then, Chiranjeevi movies theater lo chudam start.
Yeah. But it was this. I think it's a confluence of my upbringing, culture, what I was being exposed to.
And
It
also
was all
what
happening
Hyderabad
in a
was
very-
at that time. I
Yeah.
feel like there was,
Yeah.
like whenever I hear people talk about it, there seems to be a cosmopolitan nature to the whole, to the people then. And, you know?
అండ్ అప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ ఆల్సో హ్యాడ్ దిస్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ అప్పుడు ఓన్లీ నేను హైదరాబాద్లో చూసేవాడిని నేను కరీంనగర్ నుంచి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఓన్లీ పోస్టర్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి మాకు ఆన్ ద వాల్ బట్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్ దేర్ వుడ్ బి దిస్ పెయింటింగ్స్ లైక్ ఇన్ సికింద్రాబాద్ ఆల్సో ఈవెన్ టిల్ వాట్ ఈస్ తుషార్ కపూర్స్ ఫస్ట్ ఫిలిం ముझे कुछ कहना है Even till then, there would be these paintings, you know, where like they would draw on wooden cutouts and
Dollar Dream's first banner on Sangeet was a painted one.
Yeah, hand painted.
Hand painted one. Based on a photograph that we had given the painter. That's something else. That art is gone.
Yeah, God.
yeah.
Apparently, M.F. Hussain learnt like that by doing film, like by painting film posters. And one of my friends told me this amazing. Sorry for digressing. He told me one amazing M.F. Hussain story. So he was an art student. You remember Arnabda from HCU? So he told me that M.F. Hussain comes for some talk. And Mr. Hussain is a busy man, so he was just going. And this guy showed a paper and a pen, obviously, for an autograph. So M.F. Hussain takes it and he draws a circle and he gives it back. So this guy is like disappointed. He's like, what the fuck? I asked for a autograph and I got a circle. And he goes and tells his art teacher that, look, man, he just drew a circle. So that teacher looks at it, right? And he says, get me a compass, right? And he puts the compass in the middle. And it's a perfect fucking circle.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the...
Like subconsciously just
No,
draw.
but that would be worth like.
Yeah. And it's just a circle.
Was it on a piece of paper?
Like a piece of paper, and he just drew this thing. But the trick is now it's not a horse or anything, so you can't say it's M.F. Hussain, but it is M.F. Hussain. You know it. So it's one of those like special things. Nice. I thought that was an amazing story.
That's an amazing.
Sorry if it has no point.
No, but I'd love to know where that painting is. I'd like to know.
Yeah, I should ask him actually.
Yeah.
He's now
He'll
an
have
art
it, I'm
teacher.
sure he'll have it,
I'm
no?
sure he has it.
Awesome. To M.F. Hussain.
Cool. We will quickly go into the next point. No, but I'm loving this conversation, man.
Yep.
Like this is the most like unstructured conversation which we have had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Very Hyderabadi also.
Yeah, you're dealing with a guy who's like that. I think. I mean, just like all over the place with conversations. But yeah, I think that's. I think that's my space. I think it's because I catch myself wanting to say something of some value with the time that we have, you know? And I think we are at a time I think where cinema is just its relevance and its meaning in life, or how it can influence people to make decisions, or how it can actually have a positive impact on society. The films that have been coming out this year, early this year, like for Kadal Dukkor, like for example, we were just talking about it.
Mammootty's.
Yeah, it reaffirms your faith in the power of this medium.
Yeah.
And something that we should guard and respect and kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of the whole thing. I think I'm a huge geek of films or cinema. I mean, I think because it always seemed like such, and it still is such a privilege to call this a profession. What you do, like kind of. I'm always kind of awestruck and wonder at that opportunity of it.
Yeah.
That's why I see. If you're talking about imposter syndrome, I'm still in that, sort of that space where like this, to kind of design a life where the stories that you tell have to have some meaning over the years.
Yeah.
Build on that. So yeah, I mean, I think you can call me like just a romantic of
Cinema.
the whole of cinema.
You romanticize cinema.
Yeah. That's why I'm there here all over the place in terms of what I'd like to kind of keep doing.
But it also, I think, like keeps you younger, right? In a way, like.
Dude, what are you implying?
I mean, in the head.
I'm not 40s, dude. 40s is not. I'm very young. What is it? The 40s is the new 20s. What are you saying?
Yeah, totally. I'm also.
No, I just meant that because, I mean, it is.
We are the Gen X, dude.
Yeah.
We were on the cusp of the baby boomers and the millennials.
Yeah.
And we've seen that culture shift.
Yeah.
And also been able to embrace it. And there's that look back of
Actually,
history. And I think that's.
Yeah, because you guys saw the liberalization also happen.
Yeah,
and like the country changed.
I remember running to a supermarket with my sister saying, we're just gasping for breath because Pepsi had come, Coca-Cola was in stores, and we were looking at each other sheepishly, me and my sister, and we were looking at the The guy's like, you want Pepsi, right? That's why you guys have come. Put 2 bottles there and we were like drinking it and looking at each other. Like, yeah, does it live up to the promise of, how great it is?
Did it?
I think we believed that the hype and exciting times. I mean, just the internet forming.
Yeah.
That
must have
was
been insane.
Yeah.
cusp of like, this, the 2000s.
When was the first time you came across internet? What was your one of the first experiences of coming on internet?
I had actually, I think what was it? I think when I had joined as an AD, my director at that time, Mr. Manishankar, just handed me a laptop where I had to fill in sheets and stuff like that. He didn't know, I didn't even know how to use a laptop at that time. So I just kind of got onto it really early. I still have my first email address is like 1997. It's a Yahoo.
.co.in.
Yeah. No, not
.com.
.com.
Wow, okay.
So yeah.
What was it? Because generally all our first email IDs are a little embarrassing.
You want me to put my email ID out there?
Oh, you still use it?
Yeah, I still use it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it's like now turned into one kind of a spam nightmare. But it has some.
Yeah.
It has my first email I ever got in 1997. So.
Okay.
So you're on that cusp of technology where just the way you're editing a film, like I've had the privilege of seeing Dollar Dreams being cut on the edit table, like on the Steenbeck edit table with the double positive running through it. Watching it on the Motorola, you don't get to sit. You have to stand and bend and look at the viewfinder. That's how they cut the film. It was cut in 2 stages. I remember the Steenbeck was where it was primarily cut, but there was a time when the Steenbeck wasn't available, so we had to do some work on the Motorola. You really appreciate the.
Can we
shift
look
in
at that
technology.
machine? Like,
Yeah, you can just.
what is it called?
The Edit Steenbeck machine. So that's STEINBECK. It's named after the guy who invented, I think, the machine.
Okay.
YouTube videos.
Just write editing console.
Flatbed editors. Okay. No, just an image I thought. How to cut film on? Oh, that was editable.
That's the edit table there. Look at that. Those are the spools on which a double positive is a rush print of the film.
Okay.
Which is made purely for these editing purposes because these double positive is a rush print. So the film looks grainy and it's not color corrected. It's just like
Raw footage.
And they do what's called a double positive and loop the reels onto that and start splicing the film. The film goes through a splicer where you physically cut it and stick it and move it forward. That's how you cut frames, that's how you join frames. It is that the machinist aspect of editing and bringing a film together, literally piece by piece,
Correct.
is an enormous experience. Like it's and when you see that advancement to FCP and Avid and you really appreciate this, and same thing to do with rolls of film. But
But so those screens have 2 monitors, some of those.
Yeah, so it's like a backlit thing, so that image magnifies onto that. So there's a little projector down there, right at the base.
Okay.
There's a beam of light that runs through that bridge of film where he's cutting it. That is what is being projected onto the monitor.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's a projection device.
It is a projection device.
Oh.
Maybe
It's not a monitor.
maybe there was
Advancement
electric signal also. I don't know, but this is what I remember.
Okay.
So he would like literally.
Or maybe it was a backlit monitor. I don't
He
know.
would like literally see the reel and. అక్కడ కట్ చేస్తుండే.
No, see, it beam up on the monitor. It splice it, bring it together, make his join, make his cut, and you just see it all kind of taking shape, block by block, brick by brick. So it's quite amazing.
It's amazing that now, these technologies are still relevant as nomenclature.
Yeah.
Like the sign for edit is still a scissors.
Yeah, correct.
Like the sign for save is a floppy disk.
Yeah.
And like I read an article that when kids were shown floppy disk, they said, "Oh, that is save icon," right? Because they don't know what's a floppy disk. And reel is a reel now.
Reel, yeah.
Sorry, you were saying so.
No. Talking about editors. Sorry, I'm just digressing there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite editors wale stories is how Alfred Hitchcock's wife was the editor. That's the collaboration that they shared.
Oh.
she cut his films. And tell me, we talk about the Hitchcock cut. Who's cutting the film? Back in the day, through the silent era, it was women who were editors.
Correct.
Like there would be factory loads of them.
Yeah.
Because they were good at knitting. The idea was, I think, post-depression, maybe post Second World War. I don't know what that revolution is. I'm not particularly sure. But women were encouraged to become editors. So they would be, because they're seamstresses, the knack of being able to cut films and stuff was natural to them. So you literally have the Fox lot, one whole warehouse of women working on films. So no, the story about Hitchcock's wife being his editor makes one question, like, she's so important to that whole process, isn't it?
So it's a Hitchcock cut, but it's a Mrs. Hitchcock cut.
Yeah. There's a movie too. There's a movie. That's where I learnt about it, actually.
Okay.
I think it's called that only.
Mrs. Hitchcock.
Hitchcock's wife. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Hope I'm not wrong with it.
Actually, in India also there are a lot of women editors. Like
Of course.
Aarti Bajaj.
Yeah.
Rima Kagdi also.
Rima Kagti, writer-director, but Aarti Bajaj is Anurag Kashyap's editor. And Renu Saluja.
Renu Saluja was, I think, one of the first.
Yeah, FTI editors. So India also has a bit of history with
Great.
women editors. It's interesting. But you know,
Full
like,
deep dive. Yeah.
sorry for digressing,
Please dive.
but but Anurag Kashyap's, I'm a fan, and his movies are generally cut by Aarti Bajaj, his wife, or whatever, former part.
I think his earlier films, not probably his later films.
No, but then
is it
the
continuing?
movies
I
that
don't
fucked up, she did edit. Like the,
okay.
you know, he got that legendary editor. He got Martin Scorsese's editor.
Oh yeah. Schumacher, huh? Schumacher. What's her name? Yeah.
Just search Bombay Velvet editor. Actually,
for
Scorsese
Bombay
editor.
Velvet.
Yeah. Thelma Schumacher.
Yeah. Thelma something. So, yeah, Thelma.
Yeah.
Schumacher. So, but I like Anurag Kashyap's movies that were edited by Aarti Bajaj. Yeah. But anyway, sorry for.
No.
So when Gangs of Wasseypur was edited
Gangs of
by...
Wasseypur, actually, now I'm curious. Who, can you see Gangs of Wasseypur, who edited? Shweta
Venkat.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Another woman editor.
Yeah, as a woman editor.
Very cool, yeah.
So,
I didn't know.
So this modern Malayalam cinema, me and Santhosh are huge fans of.
Right.
Like we catch them all on OTT.
Right.
And like like Kumbalangi Nights, beat by beat, I can tell you. Like those many times I've watched that movie. Yeah, it's like my favorite Malayalam movie of all time.
Beautiful. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I have not watched as much.
No,
obviously,
but
as an
yeah.
outsider.
No, but recent kuda konni chaala yet to cover up the one which you said also.
Which one? Kadal the Core.
Kadal the Core, I think, is just magnificent.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch.
Mammootty sir is just at another level.
So do you feel secretly proud? That
I'm always openly proud. No, why secretly?
No, so like when you're like watching ikkada Telugu lo Chiranjeevi's gangster ivanni gang leader nadustundi.
Yeah.
So that time already Mammootty and Mohanlal were
Yeah, because I was anyway growing up watching them on VHS. My dad would be the laughter, man, the comedy. I mean, that's the kind of Malayalam films that I was at least exposed to, you know. It's
No, I have met a lot of Malayalam friends like Toby Thomas, who says that okay, you guys are watching
but that time
but actually Malayalam cinema is about comedy. Whereas now it's about like depth or whatever, like you know, like meanings and subtext. But he's like, no, actually there was a time where it was like commercial.
the social comedies.
Yeah, and like Priyadarshan, right? When he came over to Hindi and he made all of those slew of.
Nirnayam is one of my favorite films of his.
Okay, I haven't watched.
Nagarjuna and Amla. It's one of the coolest Telugu films, man.
Acha.
Oh, it's so cool. Directed by Priyadarshan.
Okay.
Starring Nag and Nagarjuna sir and Amla. And I think it's based on a Hollywood film called The Stakeout. In fact, I know it is based on Stakeout, which is also a great film. Must watch it. And great songs. I'm surprised you haven't...
that song ఒకటే బాగా చూస్తుండే అదే నిర్ణయం సాంగ్ ఉంది ఫేమస్ సాంగ్
Hello Prema.
హలో గురు ప్రేమ కోసమేరా.
Yeah, that song I know, but I haven't watched the
I also never
movie.
watched
No, you see the production design, the way the visuals are composed. Films like Gitanjali, Nirnayam, just because Nirnayam is light and funny, it's not talked about in the same kind of Kshanak Kshanam. These are all, I think, absolute culture defining in those, in the 90s, 80s, 90s. Yeah.
Hey, you know who I met recently? Again, digressing. But now I'll stop even apologizing.
No,
Just
please.
fuck it.
I think permit room mein digressing chalta hai.
Yeah, it should be the rule, in fact.
Yeah.
That if you haven't digressed in
Unless
10 minutes,
there's
there's a
always
buzzer.
editing.
Yes. There is a...
Call back to
Yeah.
an earlier reference. Yeah.
So I went to Comic Con a few days back, Hyderabad Comic Con. I met, you know who? Savio Mascarenhas. He was like,
Mario Mascarenhas ka.
I don't know, is he related?
Okay, no. Go ahead. Tell me about
No, but he's a cartoonist.
Okay. Oh, that's Mario Miranda that I'm
That's
talking about.
Mario
Sorry.
Miranda, correct.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yes.
So Savio Mascarenhas was the guy who used to draw Shikari Shambu and Tantri the Mantri.
What?
Yeah, and
See and Smile.
See and Smile, and like all of the newer age of Tinkle.
Wow.
And I saw him, and I didn't know what he looked like. Right? I thought he would be like a really old man, but he just silent guy. He looks like Vikram, the actor, like Tamil actor Vikram.
Oh, okay.
And he was just standing there. And I was like, man, like that was a fanboy moment for me. And I went and told him like, sir, I really love it. And I never like thought I would meet you. And I didn't want to say I didn't think you would be so young or whatever because I didn't want to sound offensive. But it was such a fanboy moment for me too. Because Shikari Shambu was my favorite in Tinkle. I used to only read Shikari Shambu.
What a character.
Yeah, and you never see his eyes.
His eyes, yeah.
What an idea, no? Just to have that mustache, my God.
And he's a hunter.
He's a hunter.
He's a hunter. He's also a fancy dress idea.
Yeah.
Fancy dress competition one idea.
Yeah.
Correct.
A lot of people would be Shikari Shambu. And the funny thing is, he's a fuck all hunter. In the sense that he's always winning through fluke.
Yeah.
And what I used to like about Shikari Shambu was there would all be this like, every time Shikari Shambu is there, in the background there'll be one frog judging him. There'll be one crow looking at some small details he would put. So I told him about that I loved all of this thing. And he was such a humble man. And he said, no, actually my guru, another senior who used to do it, taught me all of that. It was insane to meet Savio Mascarenhas.
No, I mean the power of the image, man. What stays with you, na?
Yeah.
On those panels.
Yeah,
Something else. That's high art.
Yeah. Shikari Shambu was the shit.
Yeah, it flashes in your head just like that.
I can see Jim Carrey somehow doing an Indian Desi version of.
Yeah.
It's a good pitch.
Totally. Yeah.
Pitching to you, Mr. Jim Carrey. So, made right here.
Yeah. Because he kind of did that with like Pet Detective, right?
That's what.
Yeah,
there was
Ace
that detective
Ventura.
as- Yeah. When nature calls and pet. Mad it was. His animalistic style. That was one of those phenomenal sort of performances we saw in the in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Nah?
Dude, Jim Carrey in the 90s was just something else, And like that's what I hold against like Academy Awards and whatever Oscars.
They never give it to
To comedy actors.
Yeah, I
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
What was that other movie that we saw of Jim Carrey where he goes into this another world?
Truman Show.
Truman Show. Oh, that was
Dude, when Jim Carrey does serious stuff, I lose I start crying and all, dude. It's like a strangely sad thing. I saw one movie called Number 23, which was like Joel Schumacher movie. It's like this thrillers and like
Batman and Robin he made it.
Yeah. And Phone Booth and all. Like he makes nice thrillers. In that, Jim Carrey is there. And I didn't know, because that time you watch a movie without knowing the trailer or IMDb or whatever, right? You're just taking a gamble. So I'm waiting for the laughs. And there's no fucking laughs. But by then, because Jim Carrey is so good, I'm invested in it. And then it turns out to be like this dark thriller, of a movie. So when it's very nice actually. Like a psychotic movie. And then Jim Carrey has done Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Beautiful film, man.
Oof. Dude.
So beautiful.
Like my house Wi-Fi is Eternal Sunshine. Should not reveal, right? We didn't reveal password.
Michel Gondry, I think. He's the director.
The director, yeah. But in that, when Jim Carrey tells the girl, just stay away from me, I can't take it anymore. You are like, it is just heartbreaking,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, man, of the 90s.
He was amazing. He was amazing.
My friend Rajasekhar Mamidanna, the stand-up comedian, his aim in life, like, so our all aims are like, we'll perform at O2 one day, Madison Square Garden, whatever. His aim is that one day I'll perform for Mr. Jim Carrey.
What a solid.
Nice.
All the best, Rajsekhar. I can see it happens.
Yeah, you can totally see it, right? Like there is some similarity in their act outs, in their...
Yeah.
It's funny. And
Yeah, he told this.
Yeah. And he's been saying it from long ago,
Yeah, yeah.
even before he became famous. Sorry.
No. There's a bit he did in one of his sketches which is very profound and moving, and but we can talk about it.
Who?
later.
No, we can talk about it now.
Rajasekhar's. There was this one sketch or one video which is out on YouTube where he's doing a sketch bit, but it kind of delves into some dark spaces with stuff that happened in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil
Love
it,
Letter
but
to
watch it.
Mothers.
Or Friends, maybe.
No, his video, the video that he's talking about.
Yeah, Raja's
Rajashekhar's.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Friends also. Oh.
Yeah, he has one more. He has 2-3 shows. You know, we were flatmates for 5
really?
years.
Oh,
Yeah, me,
yeah.
him and Raja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Feels proud to say that.
Yeah, man, I'm insanely proud.
That's damn cool.
Yeah, because it was like such a creative room, right? That's
I
like,
can imagine.
as in,
No, we had a
he was
very
doing
good
all the
time during
creativity.
lockdown.
Huh?
So when we three were locked down together for one time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so he would like always take care of our mental health. Like, how are we doing? Good?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do like Surya Namaskar today. He would like just like, he was being a good guy.
Yeah. But it was,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, sounds
And now, like, to see him like explode,
Yeah. No, it's
you
phenomenal.
feel
man.
so proud, right? At least. That, yeah. Do you watch stand-up generally?
I'm a huge fan, man.
Really?
I'm
Who are your
huge.
favorites? No pressure.
See, this is where I'll have to do Googling and all, okay? But Dave Chappelle comes to my mind as somebody who's really poetic almost with his renditions.
He's now a
and-
prophet almost.
Yeah. Of course, there are, he's also controversial,
Yeah, which is amazing.
which is good, so he's somebody that stands out. Then who else can you just like Google the guy who got
we are waiting for a name.
The guy who got cancelled.
You're waiting for a name, huh?
No, yeah, we both generally wait for a name.
Okay.
I'm sure you will also be knowing.
Zakir Khan is great with his speech. I mean, I was walking into an aircraft, okay, and you have the premium seats, right? I've never sat in business class, so I always give a couple of looks to the people who are in the business class. ठीक है, बस economy जा रहे.
CBI.
अच्छा, they have like some glass already, aerosols is already on them, like making sure they have all the comforts. And I see this dude wearing a mask and a cap and I think like a sweatshirt or something. Big fan. I'm not going to break your anonymity by calling out your name, but I like big fan is like okay. Yeah, very cool. I mean, I just what I love about what's the opportunity for, stand-up comedy for me is like deep poetry. It's like deep poetry. It can be like that also. That's the kind of comedy that I really kind of resonate with also. If you dial back a bit, was this great Eddie Murphy?
I love Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Murphy there is that in Jimmy Stewart, I think, is where he makes his first ever entry. First ever nationally broadcast wala entry he's doing in, whose show did I say it was? Jimmy Stewart. I think it is I'm sure I got the name wrong. Please check.
But it'll be one of those. Like Letterman or
late night comedians where all the next generation comedic talent got their break.
Correct.
And he comes out. He's young and he's so confident. And he kills it. And none of that nervousness of a first timer, So, yeah. No, it's, talking about, comedy is, I think it's our marham. It is so needed in our lives. I think if you can't find a way to kind of find irony or poetry or meaning with a laugh, with a snigger, with a thought, I think it can be very profound. That's why, what you put out there it can be very meaningful and very profound. And I think stand-up comedy, at least for this generation, I think is that live performance art that you get to see. Big fan of this Indian guy, dude. I really like him. Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He's also a great director. He made a couple of seasons of Master of None Bulk. It's on Netflix. Wonderfully written, wonderfully directed show by, I hope I got his name right.
Aziz Ansari, yeah.
Aziz Ansari. Oh my God. He's funny. He's so, and he has his own perspective. He's so good.
So apart from movies, because I feel like if you speak about movies, you can go on all night.
Yeah.
True. Apart from movies, what are the other things that you geek out on?
I like good sound. I'm a bit of an audiophile. saved up and bought a Bose speaker, plurged on some Sony headphones. I like good acoustics, good sound. And for me, the podcast, the audiobook, and then a favorite music playlist from, like I have CD, I have a CD player in my car.
Nice.
So there are these bunch of discs that I've kind of curated. It's there. So, where were we going with this?
So there is still like fine quality, those CDs.
An audiophile, I think, would kind of encompass somebody who enjoys a lot of stuff, consumes a lot of stuff like that. Get to hear some great people talk, and otherwise, I'm trying to. I've read books for the lockdown. One of the great aspects of the lockdown was I read what I thought was one of the most profound books ever. Because while humanity was staring at like doom, almost like nobody could really figure out what is this. I mean, there was
pandemic.
The pandemic was, deeply profound for a lot of people. I think people have changed since then. That's a different topic. But man's search for meaning. That book has absolutely.
I haven't read it though, but I'm curious.
I must remember his name now. I'm so terrible at
I saw it on
Just make it seem in the edit that I knew his name. I'll read out the title
Man's
again.
Search for Meaning. Eckhart? No, it's not Eckhart. Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl. Oh my God. What a great name also. How can I forget that?
So what does it talk about? Man's Search for Meaning?
It talks about his own survival story in a Jewish concentration camp.
Oh, there.
There. Staring at everything every day. Sees people die next to him every day, waiting for his turn. How will that... And he's a doctor, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but he's Jew? Like which side
He's a Jewish person who's been... the Nazis have taken over a bunch of people and he's one of them. And he's in a major concentration camp. And he's seeing this life dissipate every single day and he's writing his thoughts. He was a psychologist. He was a psychologist and this was his thesis when he came out. So it's so profound and it gave me a lot of courage through the lockdown in terms of, the whole idea of, surviving a life and, bringing meaning to it. This man has been... You should read the book, dude. It's a great book.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
No, so I can see that this... Actually, it came up in my Kindle suggestions list like a few days back.
Yeah.
So I remember looking at it. But it says... chronicling his experiences as a prisoner in Nazi concentration camps during World War II and describing his psychotherapeutic method. Okay. Any other books you would recommend?
Early favorites would be, I think, two books. One would be Jonathan Livingston Seagull. By Eric Segal, if I'm not mistaken. Just tells a story of a seagull that wants to fly higher. Seagulls don't need to fly high. Their food is right on the ocean.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful book about a family of seagulls. And this one seagull, Jonathan Livingston, wants to break from the pack and fly higher and higher and higher. As much as his father is not letting him do it.
Okay.
It's almost like a mini Lion King kind of a story, but seagull wala.
Okay. Rahul Dravid calls that his favorite book.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Me on the Wall.
Right. You watch cricket?
Huge fan of test match cricket.
Oh.
Huge fan. I have a Sports Star collection. I used to be a big magazine nerd. I mean, back in the day, that was the only way you can consume pop culture, right?
Correct.
And sports was very important for me. Every Thursday, Sports Star. And I still have almost 15 years of Sports Star magazine stacked. It's something that I'm really sort of possessive.
You have the main poster.
It's the first thing, after making sure my family is safe, the first thing I'll save if my house is on fire is that bunch of this thing.
Sports Star was the journalistic quality was insane.
And the articles that were written.
Yeah.
See, there would be this, the tour diaries that this English writer would write. I forget his name right now. I remember one name, Ted Corbett, but I think he used to write for football, Premier League and everything. But this one person, Gary somebody, it'd be hard to find on Google, but he used to write tour diaries about how the English team has now come to to the Caribbean. You know, they're checking into a hotel. This is what happened in week 1. Practice match ke liye, this guy is getting ready. He seems to have a bit of a nick in his wrist. Maybe he's not going to play he's got the inside scoop on the team. He's reporting live.
Yeah.
And back in the day, test match cricket meant it's called a tour, a test tour. You are touring that country as almost like ambassadors. Almost, there for a little battle.
Yeah.
And the culture would be to play a few county matches, a few league matches with the A team.
Yeah.
You know, get your groove, get used to the pitch.
Pitch and the conditions.
That is a 2-week process.
Yeah.
Where people are getting a gauge. Yes, to acha 80 mara. Or the people will be worried that the university side is almost going to beat your team. But all kinds of, mostly exhibition matches. You could be retired hurt and just go off in that match also.
Yeah.
It was, but and then the actual test match cricket.
Starts.
I mean, the mornings have woken up during the Boxing Day test matches in Australia.
Yeah, 5 a.m.
In the shivering winter of Hyderabad, just watching David Boone smash us around and Craig McDermott just making us really like his bouncers and his bowling on Australia. I mean, waking up to that and blurry-eyed watching it till 11 before you have to crash or you have to get on with the day. But I was that much of a test cricket kind of a guy.
No, how was Indian team then back then? Our time lo, I don't know.
Hey, back then entra babu. dating me back.
No, David Boone time lo Indian team.
I was a baby when India won the World Cup for the first time.
Okay.
83. Come on, there. So yeah, no. I'm saying the romanticism of we were talking about what I'm consuming. So I was a big sports geek. You know, I mean, I would follow Formula 1 before it was.
Correct.
Back
Michael
in the day,
Schumacher.
I saw Ayrton Senna lose his life. I mean, in that crash.
Oh.
Sitting up at night in Spain. I forget the name of the race course, but the moment it happened, I was watching it. And, just it's some amazing defining kind of movement. Now I'm trying to roll back on some great sporting moments.
Yeah, roll back, please.
No, MS Dhoni just hitting that ball, man. Out of the park.
Yeah. So where were you 2011 World Cup?
I was watching it with a bunch of friends on a big screen. The best way. And we won. We got out on bikes. And I'm never the, hyper patriotic kind of a guy. I was really proud. Really, we were on Nicholas Road. Waving flags. And I have pictures. So that's with my friends Kamal, Kiran, all these guys. We had so being a part of that. I think sports is so important and so vital in our lives as something that we should all do and kind of.
Yeah.
So what are the things I consume? We're coming back to that point. Sports, big sports fan. Then what else, man? Obviously,
Any tech now?
No, also the second book.
Second book.
Like you said, 2 books.
Oh, the second book. The second book was City of Joy by Dominic.
I've read
Lapierre.
that.
Yeah, it was very.
Dude, those guys are amazing writers.
Yeah.
Dominic Lapierre and
Somebody else.
some 2 French guys.
I thought that was only Dominic Lapierre. I'm not.
Dominic
Could be
Lapierre,
mistaken.
City of Joy.
But the way he, described the slums in Calcutta, the life of
Dominic
these
Lapierre, you're
people.
right. Yeah, you're right. But oh man, they were good writers, dude.
Yeah.
Is Paris Burning is a good book.
Yeah.
City of Joy is a good book. I got beaten up in Puttaparthi for reading City of Joy
Yeah.
because I read a copy on which there was Shaban Azmi and Om Puri, which was the film version.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And Puttaparthi is like everything is about Sai Baba, right? So you can't be reading novels and shit.
Oh.
So I got caught. I'm trying to tell him, no, sir, this is like
book.
This is like a whatever literary, but I don't even have those words like literary and all. Just got beaten up. But great. I still remember parts of the book. Like this guy has cancer. Om Puri is a rickshaw puller and he has cancer. So he's coughing blood, but he doesn't have money. So he's eating pan to disguise it. And even as a kid, that fucking guy shook me inside. But yeah, great book. That's true.
But huge Asterix and Tintin fan, man. I have looked at the image on an Asterix comic panel for hours. Like I can just look at it. I can look at the boar, that shiny wild boar on that table.
Yeah.
Obelix going for it. The baby who fell into the magic potion.
Yeah.
And he never gets to have a swig of the magic potion.
Yeah.
And Asterix gets to have it all the time. He's pining for it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to live in a Gaulish village. You know, Unhygienics, the fishmonger. Everyone's name was around. Just find out the character names in Asterix. It's a lot of fun.
No, I can tell you, I'm a huge Asterix fan.
You know, okay, then you know. Then
So, like,
the
the
vital statistics.
Vital Statistics is the village chief.
That's why it's called Vital.
Yeah, Vital
His name is Vital Sats.
Vital
Yeah.
Statistics. Everybody's names end
Everyone some statistics.
IX.
Yeah, IX.
like Asterix, Obelix. Then the fish seller is Unhygienics.
Unhygienics. Then there was the
Get a
old
fix.
man, Get a Fix, with the hot wife.
Yeah. Hot wife was called Impedimenta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never
He
heard
was
of that.
Vital Statistics hot
Thank
wife.
you, man. Oh.
He had a hot wife. And all the Roman names are ending with us. And they'll be like poisonous fungus or whatever. Christmas cactus or whatever. But yeah, Asterix.
No, man, those panels, those images, they're so just like,
Dogmatics is the name of the dog.
oh, yeah.
Geriatrics.
Yeah. The old guy.
Yeah. No, that guy had the hot wife.
Yes.
This old guy had the hot wife.
Yeah.
You're right.
Or am I imagining it? I don't know.
No, you're right. Geriatrics' wife was called Bacteria or something.
Yeah.
Just click on Geriatrics. Geriatrics' wife. Yeah, this lady. What was her name? Mrs. Geriatric. So, I went to Comic Con, no? I bought like some new age Indian comics. Which is like interesting work is going on now.
Yeah, I know.
So they're
About
telling
Raj Comics, no? I think
Raj
especially.
Comics. Raj Comics has existed for a
yeah.
while.
Right.
But now some new players are in the game.
Okay.
Like startup comic companies who are writing their own stories and
Right.
quite interesting actually. Yeah. But I think like comics as a genre will be difficult to compete with Instagram. I feel like it is. I don't know. Right? Because even I am getting distracted and I consider myself like a comic buff. But you know, your phone pings and you're kind of, you know.
Yeah. I think we should all bring some balance in terms of the screen time that we actively
We were
put.
just
today we recorded a standalone episode and we took out our phones to check what is our screen time.
Horrible. No?
Dude, it broke my
Shameful.
heart.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like clocking on some days 11 hours. Yeah. It's fucking scary, man. Like 11 hours is a whole, like he said, a whole shift. Well, how is it for you? Like how many hours?
I try to balance it out, right? So that's why I limit it mostly to just listening to stuff. And if I'm on social network, I'm not there for more than 4-5 minutes, just like in and out. But mails, I'm a big mail guy, so. But I'm conscious of it, right? It's something I'm actively conscious of, but like everyone, the bad habit of watching something before you sleep, and
Yeah.
that's the worst thing to do, actually.
Yeah, man.
You should give yourself time off from the screen before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Reading books is a good idea, though. So I think that'll.
far.
Yeah.
So now let's come to your writing and directing career.
Okay.
Right? I feel which is what you wanted to like speak about. I feel like
Right.
I wanted to take a little detour from movies.
Sure.
And then come back to it organically. I don't know how organic it is.
No, it's perfectly organic.
Yeah. So tell us about your writing process because you said that you were writing from school, college.
Yeah.
Right? So is there a method? Like is there a process now?
Yeah, I think it's the process is a story that stays in you, stays with you. There are stories that come to you, and then you think. Sometimes you don't think about them too deeply, so perhaps it's not important. But there are some stories that stay with you, the characters and the need and the desire to just tell that story in your unique eye or unique perspective, your take on the whole thing. So that first has to be the major motivation. Like, can I tell something that's engaging and important and entertaining? Then it happens in spurts where I don't try and kind of push myself to finish a scene, but sometimes just have that distance for a few hours or even a day to see whether organically you can build something that's interesting. So it's the loneliest part of this profession is when you're sitting and writing something. But it's also the most vivid and almost dreamlike, godlike kind of situation because you're literally building a world. You're getting characters to say something. And if they start holding meaning, this project is important, something that you should do.
Oh.
So, I mean, these are the basics of how I motivate myself to kind of direct or tell a story.
So you delve into it and it's like a test that if they stay with you,
If it stays with me, it's important enough. Like I have stories that now have been in my head for like a decade almost. That, so that's for me is what holds the promise of a good story eventually. So kind of bank on that. So yeah, I'm also a multi-genre sort of a guy. I'm eventually a fanboy of cinema. So I like moving from one genre, one story, find something else. And I know the stuff that I do is, it's somewhere in some spaces, it's, you can call it commercial or not commercial, or it's trying to bridge some gaps. I don't know. But it's always come from a very original space. That's how meaningful it is for me as a director. To say something that's highly original. It might be a genre you have seen or even a situation but what's your take on that kind of a thing has to... So, yeah, I mean, for example, I don't want to plug... This is very self-aware kind of plugging, but I will. With Avakai Biryani, the idea was to kind of tell a cultural story between two religions, but in the most non-hateful, non-confrontational, non-hyper, but in a very sort of everyday life kind of a mode, to romanticize that, because you can have those kind of conclusions also, but make it entertaining. So I'm a libertarian, I think, at heart, and I also think that, the democratic values of our country have to be protected, and every citizen, has that absolute sort of needs to have that integrity towards what they're doing with their profession. So my God, where am I digressing? Where am I going with this?
Yeah, no, you're saying like from Avakai Biryani, which was like a very
Koti was my this thing about just
Koti was like a gangster.
Yeah, it was me.
I had actually very high hopes on Koti.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
No, it is very interesting.
No, true. Yeah, absolutely. It was. I wanted to make, when we get on train stations, you see these detective novels on these
A.H. Wheeler and Co.
Really pulpy, out of the way. Yeah.
No.
So that's where I'm coming from, like in terms of trying to tell a very good old-fashioned heist film with all kinds of interesting sort of drama. We played with screenplay a little bit. We were trying to go out there with the humor. Very proud of what we achieved in terms of the look and sound and some great music from...
Oh, music.
Shakti.
So the point I wanted to tell you when I was saying...
And Srihari sir, like my favorite avatar, he was just magnificent as Maya Master in that film. Yeah, sorry.
No, the point I wanted to tell you, like how I connected with you was in my Music Express phone, I had one folder of Koti of the songs, because I remember those songs.
Shout out to you, Macha, Shakti.
Yeah, shout out to you, Shakti. Who also gave one other movie for Sekhar Kammula.
Yeah, Fida.
Oh, yeah. But this was before, way back.
Yeah.
I remember Varala
Super cool,
Vana.
super talented, man.
Yeah.
His track for Gods of Dharmapuri to the opening title, the opening song was just like a beautiful rendition. Okay, enough about me saying stuff.
No, it's all about you, man.
But shoot any question. I don't know what. I want to stop myself from saying something. But yeah, this is my approach. I mean, Gods of Dharmapuri was another sort of giant wheel of multiple storylines over multiple episodes that all had to kind of make sense. We had a amazing cast, a great writing team, a great producer, and great bunch of actors and technicians who came on board. Srikanth, production design, Naveen, cinematography, Shakti, of course, with the music, and producer Radhika Love. I always wanted to tell a gangster film on the... Every filmmaker wants to do their own gangster film kind of a thing. Huh? So this was my attempt at something like that. And we had a great time with the construction of that story, trying to tell it like this massive sort of over a period of like with limited time and budgets to try and get a 70s 60s kind of a vibe to it.
I remember it was one of
great
the
actors. My God, when you have a great bunch of actors, Satya, Shruti, all these amazing people.
LB Sriram garu.
LB Sriram garu was such a joy to kind of work with. Your job as a director really is to just tell them what it is we're looking to discover. They just bring it to life.
It was the first
It was the first web series that actually got some name. Like when the OTTs came out, it was on Z5 kada?
Yeah.
Z5. Like the very first on Z5
You should watch it if you haven't.
was that.
So yeah, same, with the indie film that we are doing right now, is getting ready. It's been, as a director, it's been an absolute, the trip for me is to tell something original and something that must add some value. And it should be entertaining too. It should have a manner. So we're still cracking the code on that, but I'm excited to... There's nothing like a filmmaker's life really, which can be any story or any project that you want to kind of build or create. I mean, it's... I'm excited for where the industry is headed, where, how stories can be told. It's being redefined. Every year now almost, like you see some... something amazing in front of you. So, yeah, I don't know.
So, do you speak Malayalam?
No, I don't speak it very well, unfortunately, but I understand it very well.
No, because now with this new age Malayalam cinema, aren't you curious to go check it out? Because
I guess
feel proud, like one of us is...
Yeah, but I've had an opportunity to act in a couple of Malayalam films, but unfortunately, I don't speak it that well.
Okay.
My Telugu is better than the Malayalam, so. But I can totally understand it, because that's a whole other trip, really. Discovering Kerala was always from a Hyderabad perspective of, going to see my grandmother in a little town, and just the smell of the backyard, the insects, the poultry, the cows. And just like fresh farm eggs coming to your table. It's a whole discovery really of my own sort of Malu-ness kind of a thing. So over several summer trips and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a whole... I'm excited about linguistic possibilities also, like how we consume our films right now. You're watching a Spanish show, but you're reading the titles in English. You're watching... Like if you've seen The Killer Soup, it's practically in Tamil.
Correct.
It's practically in Tamil, But it's great that you can make these kinds of shows and you have an audience for it.
Correct.
And
language is not an issue anymore.
What a fun show! I had a lot of fun.
Killer Soup?
Yeah,
we were watching it.
You watched the whole thing?
No, we were in
fourth or
fifth.
Okay, it gets
but
crazy.
I'll finish it.
Watch it. Nasir sir in the role of a lifetime, I think.
Oh, yeah.
My God, he just...
he's like the drinking
just
cop.
amazing. He's just not just a drinking cop. He brings so much eccentricity and like you really care for his character. His performance is just... it's phenomenal. Sir, you're amazing.
Even that first guy, that police officer, like, sir... he reports and he investigates.
The young guy
who dies.
He was great too.
After which again Nazar like starts to drink or like feel bad for that guy. That guy also did a very good job.
Coming back to Malayalam cinema, and why I like it is that when you just, at least when I close my eyes and think of Malayalam cinema, beyond the stories and the screenplays and all of that and the acting, there are these small details that come in, like how they eat at weddings. Or like the moss on old walls. Or like house gardens. These are stray dogs. They are always there. So you feel like you are in Kerala in a strange way, right? Like the last 3-4 years, we have just... Actually, him more than me.
I think the lockdown brought Malayalam cinema closer than ever to audiences all over India, which is a wonderful thing.
And all stories happen in Kerala only. Like, rarely they go to Bangalore or koncham
Yeah, Goa
Coimbatore,
sometimes they go.
little
Yeah,
bit. But
yeah.
not everything is like inside the state.
True.
And so if you can like tell a story so nicely.
And for us as outsiders, right, because we don't know many of the actors, it is again like a VHS thing, right? You don't know what you're in for. Because sometimes I'll see a movie, I'll see the cast, I'm like, oh, he was in a comedy, so it'll be a comedy. But you find out it's some weirdly dark story. And sometimes you think it's a dark story, but there is humor. It is just like Kumbalangi Nights. I don't know, man. Is it a comedy? Is it drama? Is it maybe drama? I guess. But there is so many like moments where you laugh out. Where I laughed out. I don't know.
No,
It's just poetry. I think it's just
Yeah, they are in a great space now, man. It's just beautiful.
exciting.
Is there any like industry that you would want to work in that you feel like across the
Industry?
world, like a film industry? Sorry.
Oh, film industry. No, I think I'm already in like one of the. I mean, the Indian film industry is just such a thriving kind of a place right now. I mean, for me at least, this is an exciting time for filmmakers here. Our films are reaching across shows, across boundaries. I want to try and make those kind of movies here. So it's like, but like any director, who doesn't fancy making a Hollywood film one day or but it is. Because I grew up on a lot of American cinema, again discovered on VHS, So this.
Who would you cast if you're making a
Oh,
Hollywood?
if I was making it all depend on the story, I guess. But, I'd love to work with De Niro.
De Niro.
One of the films I keep coming back to is De Niro and Pacino in Heat.
Great movie.
Oh, the acoustics, the sound in that film, man. Have you ever heard bullets coming out of a gun, accurately the acoustics, in what would be they emptied out that sidewalk, they emptied out those roads, and they filled those original guns with fake bullets, but with enough volume so that it will seem like an authentic machine gun shootout. Those bullets feel really real. And that's Michael Mann, man. He's doing some magic with the sound. Oh, I was talking about De Niro, I went off to sound. But yes, working with Mr. De Niro will be something to...
What about Tom Hanks? How do you feel about?
Oh yeah, he's great. He's been so influential in my life, man.
Yeah?
Big was... His movie Big it's just about... I mean, I can spoil it. It's part of pop culture right now. It's about a little kid who magically grows up to be a young man.
Like Nani.
Yeah, like
Like the movie Nani.
Yeah,
My
like the
Rose,
movie Nani.
kind of.
Yeah. But this came out in 88.
Yeah. No, there's a rip-off of that. Yeah.
So, just that boy adventure, of what it meant to be an adult. And I kind of saw it at that kind of a time. So...
What about like the Back to the Future movies? Was
Oh
that?
my God, yeah. How much I love...
Because we
Robert
watched them during the
Zemeckis.
pandemic. And I was like, what an amazing movie.
I literally watched, because all the Hollywood releases wouldn't come at the same time, right? You'd have to wait for a whole year. So I saw part 1 and the yearning for part 2, because it's the end of the film says to be continued.
Okay.
In those flaming Infermo, those Hot Wheels the fire that comes on the tarmac whenever the car goes. In that kind of animation, it says to be continued. So you know that Back to the Future Part 2 is going to come. You have to wait a whole year for that tape to come.
Yeah. I watched 2 actually. It's actually nice. The sequel is decent. I haven't watched 3 though. But I realized like how many time travel tropes come from that movie.
Yeah.
The mad scientist.
Yeah. That was the kind of starting
Yeah,
point.
like
almost.
the defining time travel movie.
True.
Which year was this?
I don't
This
know,
would be
80s?
86, sir? 87 maybe?
Oh.
Yeah, late 80s.
Robert Zemeckis.
Zemeckis, yeah. Forrest Gump.
He directed it back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Steven Spielberg produced it.
So then after that, Forrest Gump came.
I think he made some more
Forrest
movies.
Gump was much later, so he made those 3 Back to the Future films, and after that, he's always been a very pioneering filmmaker. He's one of the first people to use
VFX and all. No?
VFX at a very high level. With
He made that where Bugs Bunny is a...
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, that's also his.
And
which was mix of like live action and animation.
Oh.
Yeah,
Of that time, like 2D animation.
Yeah, I think was it all the DC? I mean, Disney characters, was it? Like it had Daffy Duck and that was revolutionary, dude, because you never had Like you've never seen an animated character interact with a live character. That was next level filmmaking, no?
Yeah. And I think he does that. Then he goes to Forest Gump, which also has a lot of VFX. Because they show Forest with those presidents and all of that.
Oh yeah, that was also next level pioneering because he's shaking hands with JFK.
Kennedy,
I was
yes.
like, how did he do that? That's
yeah.
so great.
No, even in front of White House, he goes through the speech. To the president's speech, he goes to the pond.
Yeah.
So that also.
And then he sits, he teaches, who's that legendary singer? He teaches that dance move to, who's that? The manly voice singer, Elvis Presley. He teaches the move to Elvis Presley.
Yeah,
Did you watch Lal Singh Chadda?
I did, and I must say that I haven't seen the film at a stretch. I've caught bits and portions of it, and pop culture was. Forrest Gump was reflecting some defining cultural movements in American history. The whole Woodstock and post-Vietnam sort of an era. So, if Lal Singh Chadda was to be made in Hindi, it should perhaps have reflected that even more. I haven't seen the entire film, but I'm thinking...
No, but they played it a little safe.
Okay.
Like some parts were mentioned, but you can see, obviously, it's a more turbulent time.
Right.
But, it's a strange experience because I watched it twice. I first watched it in the theater.
Okay.
And I didn't appreciate the whole,
Okay.
I don't want to be offensive, but whatever. Like his interpretation of somebody with learning disabilities.
Sure.
But then once he ages and he's got the beard, just something changes. And by the end, I was quite moved by the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because my favorite scenes in Forrest Gump are when Tom Hanks sees the sun.
Yeah.
And he asks is he also smart? Basically he's asking.
Yes.
That Amir Khan kills in Lal Singh Chadda.
Really?
Kills, I'm telling you. And I was till then disconnected because I couldn't take the big eyes and I thought that was a little...
Right.
But there's a significant change in his acting. I don't know how he does that, but he gets the pagdi, right? And then he grows the hair and he has the turban and the beard. And he becomes Sikh, basically. And then it is just something else. And then there is my second favorite scene in Forrest Gump is in the end when he goes and tells the grave, when he tells his dead wife that, my son is so smart, our son is so smart, and I wish you could see him how smart he is. That also in Hindi is amazing. So for that portion, so Lal Singh Chadda is a strange movie. I think it got more hate than it deserved. But it is, I don't know, some parts of it.
Maybe there's a lot to be discovered. I think that's something fascinating, right? Like you might discover a film after many months or many years, and it might resonate with you differently then. True. Talking about resonate with you later then, I have to mention Richard Linklater.
I love Richard.
His influence and his way of making films is something I deeply admire. Just the commitment for making Boyhood. The commitment to tell a story over a decade. And the ending shot of that film.
I haven't watched actually.
Then I won't spoil it. Watch it.
Boyhood.
Watch that film, Boyhood. You should watch it.
Heard a lot.
He literally films a boy over 10 years.
I know the concept, but I haven't watched the
It's
movie.
deeply moving. Of course, before sunrise, after sunset.
Those are also strange,
those also,
right? 9 years.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like what? How much he must love his story and his characters to want to revisit. How much the actors must be so invested in those parts. Such a huge collaboration over decades. That's the beauty of...
And I like Richard Linklater's comedies also.
Yeah.
They are you remember Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused.
Oh,
That is Richard Linklater. School of Rock. Again, out and out comedy. So yeah.
So I just had to kind of mention him for a sec. So what about you guys? What do you do apart from all of this? I just told you some sports writing, but what else do you do?
I'm trying to do stand-up, trying to do some... I do a bit of journalism. I write a humor column for New Indian Express.
Okay.
Called Urban Bourbon.
Oh.
Where I talk about whatever is whatever, city life or whatever.
Okay.
So that is what I do.
Oh, cool.
And Santhosh.
I'm trying to act into films.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm doing 2 films right now. And then I have a business back at my hometown. So adi parallel cheskuntu. Slowly I'm trying to...
But acting is what you're...
But acting is what I want to go towards too.
Cool.
Do you have any
Try
tips to give?
Tips, huh? Keep at it, man.
Yeah.
Keep at it, because I think, I think that's, there is no, the time will come. The time is now only. Like, I feel like that's the gift of technology. Like, you can absolutely make something instant, and now, isn't it? I mean, I think that's just,
Yeah.
Has our conversation taken a deep philosophical turn? I'm a little worried about our audiences thinking that we're like free ranging here, like completely.
No, but isn't that, I felt like that is the joy of a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It has to go in different directions.
Yeah, otherwise, you know, because I'm
Why
sure
the
you've seen
structure?
interviews where,
True.
I mean, given interviews where it's always like, you know, structured format.
Yeah.
But our philosophy, I mean, I don't know, it's only been 3 months, but our philosophy is like not to push a conversation in a certain direction, because I feel like the beauty of a conversation is when you sidestep it and then you like have, you know, discover the person. So
That's very true, man. Can I make a recommendation?
Yes, please.
There's this amazing Korean film that I saw on Mubi.com. And as usual, I can't remember the title. So if you can just Google Mubi, Korean film, crime drama, Decision to Leave. My God. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, how did you?
Ajit. What?
How did you know he was talking about that?
I watched a movie also.
Okay.
Movie is the place to be, by the way. There's everything else. It's a non-algorithm driven
Correct.
news
Platform.
feed. Yeah. That's great. It's curated.
Oh, Old Boy.
Not the same director of Old Boy, brother.
Just search for the movie.
Check.
Forgot his name.
What is the name of the movie?
Decision to Leave.
Decision to Leave.
Today I can't tell you how beautifully this film is shot. And
What is it?
so deeply fucking. It's a crime drama at its heart, but it's something more than that. You're right. Same director.
I'll
You want
check this
to?
out.
Yeah. You should see the trailer if you want to. If you have time to watch the trailer,
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
it.
let's
Yeah,
go.
check it out.
We'll link the trailer in the description. I'm trying to be the proper YouTuber. Yeah, but just check it out. It's on YouTube. So.
On sublet? Okay.
What a line.
And also, it doesn't reveal much.
Yeah.
Which is, I
You're
think,
intrigued.
Yeah.
You're intrigued. Yeah.
Doesn't reveal.
Go watch it. You'll have a great time.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Mubi. It's high time we get the subscription.
Mubi is also OTT.
Yeah, it's an OTT platform.
Oh.
And yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, it's like it's got a nice mix of like
No, it's
Oscar winning,
Yeah.
and you'll find your Satyajit Rays, and
Yeah.
you'll find
and they have like a season. Like sometimes it's French film, sometimes it's breakout directors, sometimes it's just like a Swedish film fest. I mean, this is just what we. I mean,
yeah,
movie is not paying us to say this, but
yeah, but no,
great
can you
place
just
to
show
watch.
Mubi.com?
Yeah.
I think Vijit is a huge movie fan. I remember you mentioning it a few times.
If anything, this is worth your subscription.
Try 7 days free. Okay. Oh, you have to log in to see the catalog.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, what if I were to ask you which is the movie that you're looking forward to the most this year?
This year.
This year?
Actually, what are the movies coming up? I'm not.
Kalki.
Close, Kalki.
Pushpa 2.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that much, honestly.
Pushpa 2.
As in, I'm curious, but
OG.
OG.
Pushpa 2.
I like the. Was there a teaser or a
Which one?
of OG?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty kick-ass. Actually.
Yeah.
Very like.
That also.
Yeah. Pushpa 2, maybe I'll be curious to see what happened, because I saw the poster. Did you see that poster that came out?
No.
Fucking psychedelic poster. So that, but I'm thinking Hollywood, what movie is there? Huh? Monkey Man, I'm curious.
It looks good.
But again, there's white people showing India as like land of monkey and all. I'm tired of that
I
shit.
am interested in I think the Mad Max director. Sorry, Mad Max Fury Road. I think he's made a show
Okay.
or a follow-up to Fury Road. I think it's called Fury.
Oh,
It's a show. It's a TV show.
okay.
I'm looking forward to that actually.
Yeah.
Let's see when it comes out.
And there is one film that has like generated a lot of buzz. It's called Kill. Which is supposed to be like some action, like next level India's action movie. But that's the only thing I've heard. There's no teaser of it or anything.
Yeah.
So that is
Karan Johar and
so that is probably one movie I'll look out for.
In Hindi, what are coming?
I don't know, man. Hindi movies I've kind of given up now, dude. In the sense that I don't know. I think it's going through a little. I might not be anybody to say all this, but I feel it's going through a bit of a lull because like except 12th Fail, no Hindi movie blew my mind. You know,
right.
I can't seem to think of any that were just like wow. And I didn't feel much.
And 12th Fail was directly on a OTT release. Huh?
No,
it had a
I saw it in theaters. Oh, another shout out to another film. My favorite film of last year. Sapta Sagara Dache.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Oh,
I watched Side A.
You didn't watch Side B?
No, how is Side B? Like I'm like.
How is Side B? It is an extension of that story. You should. I think everyone will. I mean, it's beautiful. Both the movies are beautiful, but Side A, of course, is where we discovered it. My God, the poetry. Oh my God.
It was so beautiful, man.
When you thought you can't tell love stories. I mean, how could you tell a love story really? I mean, I think it's so deeply moving.
No, one journalist.
Hemant Rao.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, one journalist had given a good perspective to it. She was asking the director, like on one side you see it as a love story, one side like a sad love story or something. But I see it as a struggle for freedom. Like everyone struggle for freedom. So it is more shown as a love story, but I see it as a struggle for freedom.
That's his
only.
take on it. Yeah.
That is an interesting take.
But there was something like so touching about that, like that love story, right?
The performances, the way it was told, and even the power aspect of it, the power equations that he shows with the family and his situation as a driver. It's like those lives colliding, those decisions happening, the trust being built, and then all of it. So poetic, my gosh.
And the shots, right? Like you remember in the he's beating up the guy in the jail, and she's getting married, and there's like this edit intercut.
Terrific.
And it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the music was so good.
So good,
The soundtrack is something else.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah, that was one of the best films of last year, actually. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't know, man. I think we are winding down. I just hope we've I hope we've kept you sort of engaged and entertained. I don't know. It was fun talking to you guys. I think I was kind of having like a, there is this book where you can just kind of flip and you can. So it's like we just took a quick trip down like nostalgia and lean and what it means to be a creator. So. And thanks for having me. I mean, I had a good time. I hope I know you guys.
I like the Secunderabad Sangeet side. I like those. I like nostalgia basically. So
I like the complete ADHD adult conversations that went anywhere.
Yes. I don't know how. It'll be interesting to see how people react to this. But I had a fun time. I was just.
We'll wait for your movie. I think.
We'll talk about it soon. I'm very excited to share it with you. But I'm going to come back with it.
2 projects coming up. So nice. That's a surprise also.
Yeah.
Please feel free to come back.
No, absolutely will.
And when we get 100K subscribers, if we do, we are planning a permit room party where we'll call all the previous guests.
Oh, great idea.
And we'll just chill. And we will just record like an episode of us playing some improv games or drunk Pictionary or something like that.
Right.
So please
that sounds great.
Be free for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you so much. And I hope this was fun.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. It was.
Thank you so much.
It was fun just talking to you guys, shooting the breeze, talking about culture and all that all that makes us, I guess, as people. Cool. Do we shake hands like this? Or how do we end a conversation? But